Thanks for coming back. I am Heather Moore. This is Misery Loves Company. Obviously, you're a good person if you're coming back to me because I don't know, I must be saying something that you like. So good for me. I have a guest today of which I'd like her to introduce herself. I've worked with this young woman. She branched off on her own to actually do something that's really, really amazing, and I'm super, super proud of her. So, Ms. Kaylin, if you could introduce yourself, tell us what you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Kaylin. I am working as a financial educator, so I have my own agency where I go out and educate families, couples, anyone who needs the education to understand what their options are financially, because it's not stuff that's taught in high school, it's not stuff that's taught in just really anywhere, and so we go out and we teach everybody how
They don't teach that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Remember, do they even have home ec anymore? Because Kaylin is quite younger than me. We're not going to go how far. Like, we're talking like at least 20?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, probably. At least 20 years. Okay, so, but I grew up in a time, like, computers scared the shit out of me. And Kaylin knows this because Kaylin has fixed a lot of my computer issues, down to my just screen shit. Anyway, it's ridiculous, and I'm ashamed of myself. But so once you learn how to write cursive, you always wrote cursive. Everything, all your papers, all your reports, everything was in cursive. And now I have two kids that can't write in cursive or read. One's a little better than the other, but I get it. I learned how to balance a checkbook in high school.
Right.
I learned how to write a resume in high school.
Yeah.
Interviews. We had to do mock interviews where we interviewed each other. Like, you had to come to school all dressed up in your dress, your shirt, your tie, whatever it was, because you're interviewing. You were graded on that. And everybody knew when your mock interview was that day because you were all schnazzed up. Yeah. But, like, you had to. Now, like, I just see the difference, and like, especially with my kids, where they are so technologically advanced more than me, but it's the other stuff, the day-to-day, how do you... They just don't teach anymore.
They need to know
exactly.
to be successful in life.
So this is where Ms. Kaylin comes in to help us. All right, go ahead.
In high school, I had taken a class that had a little bit, but it was how to balance your checkbook.
Uh-huh. Was that a required class,
yes.
Or is that...
It was a required class.
Okay, because we used to have driver's ed. I don't think
they don't have that anymore. No.
Bring that shit back.
And they don't even... Now, we've actually noticed and seen more that our company has gone out and taught it to the world, and we have books that we've written. We've been on news and social medias in those areas.
So it's not just financial.
Mm-mm.
Okay, share the name of your company,
So it's called Wealth Wave.
Okay.
We go out and we teach everybody. We can go into colleges and do seminars. We can go do, to schools and do a little class for anyone.
So it's not just money, give us your money and we'll tell you how to plan for the future. It's a whole lot of education.
Oh yeah, you get the education first. We are set on fully educating everyone first. And then from there, if you want the help or you want to go further on the education, we can then critique a plan that's created just for you and your finances and your goals of where you want to be in order to help you become financially successful and independent.
So you actually can set out a plan for, let's just use an example, a single parent who, whether it be male or female, wants to be a nurse.
Yeah.
And I go to nurse because I'm a nurse, and that's I try to stay in my lane.
Right.
Well, don't tell that to my husband. So, like, say a single parent wants to be a nurse, but financially they don't qualify for this or that. Or, like, are you saying you'd be able to help them make the plan to get them there? This is what, like, the whole deal?
Yeah. We set them down starting from just creating a budget to setting up retirement, whether it's getting, if they need to have an emergency fund set up, whether it's just getting their finances together. Because a lot of people don't even know half the time subscriptions that they may have, or that they don't even see. If you don't show it to them personally on a piece of paper, they don't see how much they're actually eating out or how much they're spending on groceries. Mm-hmm. They don't add it all up because it's just as easy as tapping or swiping your card. Mm-hmm. So when we actually sit down and show them, they realize how much they're actually spending, and then we can help them see, okay, if you were to cut back a little bit on that, you could start putting that towards something else. But it's also a matter of putting your money where it's going to work for you rather than just sitting in a bank account not doing anything.
And I'm very ashamed to admit, it's crazy that you said that, because I found a charge on my, in my bank account, right? because I am like white on rice, Johnny on my bank account, because I've had some crazy shit go down. Like, so I'm on it. Charges I didn't, I was like, what in the heck is this? And it's something that I had done. It was like some kind of resume builder thing that I signed up for, didn't pay attention, thought I canceled it. And this thing has been, now it's not like it's a lot, but over time, how long did I fucking have this on there? And I'm like, then I'm seeing these commercials. Like, we don't want to talk about Big Brother listening or anything because not like it's in my brain. I'm implanted because all of a sudden commercials come on of, hey, want to clean up all your subscriptions and da 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 da. And I'm one of them. Like, I'm wondering why. Maybe you and I should talk after this.
Okay.
But that is crazy how much you have. And it may not seem like a lot, but if you have a few of those, that's how it adds up.
Yeah. And a lot of people, too, that we've met with say they live paycheck to paycheck. But as we're meeting with them and going over, you know, their finances and where they are at financially, a lot of times we can help them just by tweaking a few things and adjusting where they're spending. We can help them save anywhere between $300 to $600 to actually start putting towards their goals or whatever they're wanting to financially, instead of putting it towards something that's not really a necessity.
Well, you know something else that I was thinking about watching the news. I know, I can automatically assume and guess that you do watch the news and you know what's going on because whatever side you're on, and I'm not asking, and I don't want your opinion, it's okay. But there is craziness financially out there. Whether it doesn't matter what side you're on, there is craziness financially out there. And it's hard to distinguish between what's real and what's not because not all of a sudden, it's progressed, and we let it progress, where there is stuff on there that you don't know what's real or what's not. And I'm not talking about a fake cat or a child holding a dog or whatever in a boat, which, by the way, was disgusting. Do you know what I'm talking about? No. People were posting pictures. This guy was rescuing a dog, this little kid with weird freaking eyes, right? It was like the black-eyed children eyes, holding a dog, a little puppy in a boat with a tear coming down. And it actually ends up making rescuers or like actual people, first responders, think that there's something else out there. Do you see where the problem is?
Yeah.
Like, it's horseshit.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that we allow it and it's a big thing. So, like, you don't know what's real. You don't know what isn't. And then people are seeing their money literally disappear.
Oh, yeah.
And going, what the shit do we do? Like, and if it's not toilet paper that's almost extinct or $100 you got to sell a kidney and donate plasma, it's like, or it's eggs. We pick something new. I'm not even claiming to know anything about it. I am the last person in the world to say anything about economics or how to fucking fix it. Because I will always err on the humanity side.
Right.
Humanity, money, whatever it is, I'm always on the human side of it. But that's neither here nor there. So what about somebody who's on a fixed income that's like on Social Security disability that thinks, and that's something that I'm facing now with filing for disability, what the heck can you do with what you have? Because, what do you do?
Yeah, and it really just depends on the specific person and,
I'm
their
just
scenario, right?
But
generally, there are ways that we can help. There's different ways and different aspects of it that we can help you financially. And it's just going on and sitting down and seeing where you're wanting to be and how you want your money to grow, just what you do have already, to see where we can actually put things. The hard part is a lot of people are expecting to have Social Security be their main retirement.
There? Yeah.
But who's to say that 30, 60 years down the road that it's even going to be there? There are people saying now that it's most likely not going to be. We are technically running out of funds for that right now. And
then the cuts. Just think about the cuts.
Exactly. And so why would you want to say that your retirement is going to be based off of what you may get with Social Security, rather than why don't you start doing something for yourself now to make sure that if that's not there, you have a backup plan. Right. And if it is still there, that's great. You still have 2 extra incomes coming in. But you might want to plan for something if it's not going to be there.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking that's just the best way to go already.
Right.
And especially as you start getting older, I'm realizing I'm closer to that than I am the other side. I'm closer to the end than I am the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's a holy crap. What do I, and I mean, everybody has their individual road, and some of us
Right.
are some of them financially are harder than others for whatever reason. We all have our thing. It's all relative, and it's not, measuring whose life sucks more than the other. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But it's just the hope. I think a lot of people feel that, like, what hope is there to get out of that anyway? Like, well, I'm already in this. So it sounds like you're giving off the distinct thing of it's going to be a hell of a fight, but it can be done.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, being able to do this, so as a financial educator myself, I don't charge anyone to meet with me. Mm-hmm. To help you come up with your own personal finance plan and set you up for things, it's all free. Mm-hmm. Unlike regular financial advisors, they have a set fee that they charge.
Like hourly, right?
Yeah,
or
it's
like
either
a
hourly or
fee
yeah,
something?
exactly.
Okay.
They require you to pay a certain amount in order to even meet with them, and then once you go over their finances, then they charge you, a certain amount of fees for whatever it is they do. Mm-hmm. Which is fine and all, but for those people that actually need that financial education and that help, oftentimes are people that can't pay thousands of dollars to have someone help them financially. And so that's where we've been able to really step in and be able to help the day-to-day people that just need, that aren't making millions of dollars, that are just working a regular income, that need that education so that they can be successful in the future and be able to overcome that.
Well, that's what I was already thinking when you said that. The people that are coming to you, not everybody, but I'm sure quite a bit of them, there's a reason why they're coming to you. And It's not because they have a ton of money and they're just like, hey, help me.
Right.
Invest it and make more. They're already in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. So they're already terrified. And well, I don't know if I sure as heck know. Anytime I've ever had to contact any agent, you're terrified. You're at your last. You're on the last rung and you're holding in there. It's a hang in there, baby, kind of kitten hanging from the last rung of the ladder moment. So I bet you probably work with a lot of scared, terrified, anxious people.
Yeah, and we see those people a lot, and we see others in the aspect that they have a lot of money and they just don't know what to do with it. Mm-hmm. So we see both ends of it, and it's not like we want to help one or the other. We want to help everybody. Our motto as our company of Wealth Wave is no family.
You're just not letting you're just not letting things get in the way of that.
Right.
And that's the human side. Why I asked you to do this, because that's the human side of it.
Yeah.
And in that, though, that is you're putting a lot of trust in people because you are taking the time that, let's be honest, could honestly turn around and go away. And they just got some free advice and whatever from you. So you're taking a big leap of faith, whatever.
Yeah.
And here's the difference in that is you see that a lot in the medical profession, a lot of nurses, not even just medical profession, caregivers as a whole, whether you have letters at the end of your name, mm-hmm. You just want to help.
Yeah.
And not to say that the money isn't, because we all know, let's be honest, we live in the real world. We all want to eat and have a place to live.
Yeah.
But that's a big deal.
Yeah. And
that's a big deal.
That's kind of where I started and kind of how I got into it is I originally was going into healthcare. I got my CNA and then I started going to nursing school because I cared about people. I cared about helping others and making sure that they were taken care of and, being in a place where they're vulnerable, mm-hmm. but being able to help them so that they can get better and be able to go back to their families. And I just didn't want to work the long hour shifts all the time. And so I left that field because I wanted to do something where I can still help other people and use that caring aspect of myself, but be able to have more time and more freedom for myself mm-hmm. to be able to do so.
Well, and that's being a CNA, a huge shout out to CNAs. I started as a CNA.
Yeah.
It is the grunt, dirty, stomach churning.
Oh, yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yes.
Fulfilling. Put a smile on your face job that it's got to be up there top 5.
Yeah.
That is the most under-recognized and respected by anyone. And here's the thing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll continue to say it. It does not matter the letters after your name, because I've seen some really smart LPNs, mm-hmm. really smart CNAs, medical assistant, whatever way you want to, and some really stupid higher-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that doesn't mean anything. And the human side to a person, whatever the title, is a huge deal because that they don't have to. They're not asking for anything back. At least I wasn't.
Right.
But I ended up getting stuff back as a nurse, as in you, and then especially depending on the environment you work in. Like, it's a whole nother show, but how we treat our geriatric community and our veterans is appalling.
Yeah.
So I remember working in those. I worked in skilled nursing facilities forever. All right. I was a nurse for 17 years. So in and out. It is like fighting a losing battle, and you walk in knowing it already.
Oh, yeah. You go in with that expectation.
Because it is, the shit show is on.
Yeah.
And it's different every single day. Like, there's no one predictor.
Yeah.
And then you see people, you develop relationships with people, and you end up helping them die.
Yeah.
Which is heartbreaking.
Right.
But you got 29 other people you got to get to, so you got to kind of keep moving.
Yeah.
So it's not the greatest place mentally. It's every aspect of medical field has their lane. Like, I don't do oncology. Can't do it. I got personal reasons, can't do it.
Right.
And it takes a certain kind of person to do that. So I have serious respect for CNAs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot being a CNA and just seeing what I did see. I am grateful for the experience and the opportunity I had and the patients I was able to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
But doing what I do now and having that experience as a CNA and seeing those that were at their end of life and towards that end, and seeing the family kind of stress about what they were going to do financially, because even sometimes people who weren't old and really close to that end of time life,
sure,
but were younger and really close too, seeing them, like, they were the breadwinners, seeing them financially worry about where they were going to be after that person passed away in their family was a huge thing. So, like, now for me as a financial educator, I don't care what age you are. Like, we need to make sure your finances are in set for any scenario. Tomorrow's not promised. And so going out and making sure that you have a plan, no matter what the plan is, and we can adjust it as time goes on, as life moves on and things change, you get married, have kids, whatever it is, we can adjust your plan as we get, as it goes on. But making sure you have something at least started, even as someone who's young like me and myself, making sure you have something set in stone and, like, ready to start moving forward is more beneficial than not doing it and waiting until you think that you need it. Because you never know what's going to happen.
It's the last thing that you end up thinking about.
Right.
I mean, if you've ever had experiences with a loved one or a friend that's passed away, it's the stuff that you didn't think of beforehand that can tear families apart.
Oh, yeah.
I personally have, and everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people know, whether it's happened to them or someone that they know, money will tear a family apart like no other.
Yeah.
You will see siblings, doesn't matter what age, it doesn't, and you know what, I swear to God, the older it is, the worse it is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We'll tear and put people on sides, and so that's
a leading cause too of just divorces in general. Finances is a big part of everyone's life. We have to have money as a huge concept of it, but it can affect your relationships, whether it's with your husband, your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, your kids, anybody. Mm-hmm. It is a day-to-day thing that's going to affect it, and so just being able to know that you have a financial freedom and a plan set in place can alleviate a huge stress off that, and could hugely increase your relationship with others that you have in your family.
That was it still continues to be a concern. When you become a parent, you're like, boy, I hope I don't become a burden on my kids when I'm older.
Right.
Like, so that's a really interesting point that I didn't even think of, is it's not just for you, it's for those that you leave behind.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and people will oftentimes say, like, oh, life insurance. Life insurance is a big thing that people don't usually like.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Are really strongly like it, and some people really strongly hate it. Life insurance isn't necessarily always for you, but it's for those that you leave behind, whether it is a spouse or it is your kids. Let's say you're a husband and he's the breadwinner of the family and dies. He has a life insurance that will go to his wife.
That's got to hold you for the rest of yours.
That's got to hold her enough to be able to keep her and her kids, to recuperate their lives together now that he's not there. Mom's going to have to try to go find a job, have to try to do that while also supporting that kids. Having that life insurance there is that money aspect to help them kind of settle down,
right.
deal with the grief, then go out and start living
Well,
their life.
and I think too, a lot of times people don't see or don't think about how big of a deal it actually is when you're used to living a certain way. And then how many of us, you mentioned paycheck to paycheck before, how many of us have had whatever happened, maybe took too much, didn't have enough vacation days to cover a sickness.
Yeah.
I once had COVID, I was down for 2 full weeks. Like, without, you know what I mean? Are you prepared to be able to be cool for a couple weeks without that check?
Right. And
a lot of times you're not.
Yeah. And that's when we try to help our clients make sure they have an emergency fund where they have 6 to 8 weeks of their income set aside. That way, if something does happen, like they get laid off from their job, they get sick, they have a hospital bill, they have something with their car, they can use what they've saved to pay for that so that their regular income that's coming in can still continue to pay for their bills.
Right, and I don't think really you don't get the concept of how much the little stuff and how far your money, your life insurance, that money goes.
Yeah.
Like, it's never enough. No matter what it is,
right.
I don't care. No matter what it is, you take someone that had whatever their daily financial whatever it was for their whatever life, and that's what it contributed, and then you take that away, it is a huge deal.
Yeah. Well, and not only that too, but that life insurance will help pay for the funeral, for whatever expenses. It is, the afterlife expenses. Right. And then whatever's left over then goes to help you guys kind of financially be supported until the next person.
I mean, you can go way even farther, like property taxes, vehicles.
Yep.
Any loans that may, is it a thing really where if you pass away and you have a debt, it can fall to a spouse?
Yeah, in some
or
scenarios
a child?
It can, yeah.
Okay, so
it depends on what it is and who it's with and all that.
What kind of a loan or what kind of a debt it is, right?
Yeah, sometimes it can do it. Go down to the next.
Okay. So college funds for kids. I mean, it's a whole big span. You can go so many different ways. How does one get in contact with you?
Well, I have my social medias. My Facebook is kaylin.rn.financialrx.
Mm-hmm.
You can also email me. It's kaylinmccrae@gmail. My phone number is also 480-267-7270. All ways that you can get in contact with me.
And I want to talk to you real quick before I let you go, and I wanted to make sure that we drew special attention to it, is one of your big focuses, one of your main goals that just from knowing you that you've talked about is to really help empowering women.
Yes.
You do have an event coming up. We are located in Casa Grande, Arizona. We actually live in the same town. How amazing is that to live in the same town as this lovely financial advisor? You have an event coming up. I know I was reading it. I got to get tickets before it sells out. But there was a couple speakers. There was someone that wrote a book.
Yes, so she's a co-author. Her name is Sharon Letcher. She's a co-author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And she also wrote our How Money Works for Women's book. So we have 3 different books. We have the Stop Being a Sucker, the How Money Works for Women, and then we have one for the next generation from 18 to 35. That one actually gets released in August for the physical copy.
Oh, cool.
But she helped write the women's book that we have, and then she helped, obviously, with Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and lots of other books in that aspect. So she's going to be able to come and speak for the women at this event and be able to kind of help people see the difference and help women understand that they need to know finances just as much as their spouse does. Mm-hmm. Because you never know what's going to happen if they pass away, or just being able to have and be on the same page as your spouse financially, and just knowing your finances is really big key. It can help financially with your aspect of it, but also with the stress in your relationship. Like I said earlier, finances is a big thing for marriages and relationships. If you're on the same page as your spouse and you understand how finances work, you as a woman can help your relationship.
Well, that's just it. I think sometimes when we think about that for women going to a financial advisor, it's a single mom, working the night shift and then the day job. It's not just that. It's just because you have a spouse or you're married doesn't mean that you're an equal part of that relationship. You need to be able to be ready to, that's a dependence on something else that may not always be there. So it's not just a single, you know what I mean? Where people get that idea that
right.
like we're only empowering single women. No, it's women as a whole.
Yeah, and that's really our goal, is to empower women in the community. Mm-hmm. We don't have a set location for the event yet, just because venues have kind of fallen through. We're looking at somewhere here in the valley.
It can never be easy.
Right.
It can never be easy.
And finding a venue that can hold 200 plus women plus vendors. Mm-hmm. We're going to have local businesses come, and they can still set up booths and kind of advertise. But it's to network with other women that are business minded or empowerment, and be able to come and uplift each other.
Right.
To connect, to grow relationships, make some new friends. Mm-hmm. It's hard as women to make friends nowadays. Like, I feel like myself, I have a hard time. I have to go out and I say hi to people, and some people are rude, some people are not. Mm-hmm. But it's just women, we put more of a control on ourselves and kind of a judgment towards ourselves, and maybe even others, as we are out in public. But being able to go and be in a group with all these other women that are there to empower each other really can change how you are, and be able to change your aspect of life and understanding of what a community is for women.
I swear, it is. If it's not one thing, it's another. That's all right. We're going to adopt, Kaylin. We had some crinkle with the venue. If anybody out there near Casa Grande, Arizona, that can help Ms. Kaylin and the lovely ladies and gentlemen that want to empower women, please, if you have any ideas, let us know. Get a hold of Kaylin. She would be more than grateful, I'm sure.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else you want to leave us with, Ms. Kaylin?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. It's been a great blessing to be able to come on and speak about what I do and how I help everyone financially and get that education that is missing in society today. So thank
Honestly, you. I know I'm trying to be on the professional. Well, who the hell am I kidding? That's me. This girl, I talk about this girl to my husband, swear to God, whenever I first met her. I said, I know we at least have one there. When I started the job, that we at least have one there that knows what she's doing, and then you can tell that you have a good heart. You really can. You really can. It's not hard to say. All right, guys, give this lady a chance. Thank you so much for joining me again. Hopefully you still have the faith. Come back and join me next time. Have a good one.